All right, welcome back to Sports Monsters, the smaller viewed videos, but hey, it's fun. We get to talk about sports. I'm here with my good friend and co-host Matt Denian.
Yeah. Hey, how's everybody doing?
Yeah, and to everyone who does enjoy these videos, this is where we get to talk about something a little off the beaten path, and we usually really get hyped for the Stanley Cup series, as you guys probably saw our first round picks. And okay, we didn't get all of them right, but I think we did it. We did good enough on some, right?
We we did okay. I would not take our picks to Vegas after the first round.
Especially
Well,
Ottawa.
yeah, man, we blew that one pretty bad, like a hurricane. Yeah, we missed Ottawa pretty bad. Thankfully, let's see the Lightning pulling out for us. Your Bolts, I was a little worried about that one. Um, Boston kind of let us down too, though, didn't they?
Yeah, I thought that was going to be like a big King Kong versus Godzilla fight, but after that, what, game three, Boston had the air took out of them, and Dallas and Minnesota started out strong, but then Dallas just ran out of gas.
Yeah, yeah. My Flyers pulled it out over the Penguins, even though neither one of us thought that was going to happen. So that was nice.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
the last round of round one will be game seven of Bolts in Montreal, and the Sabres. I do not doubt them anymore.
no, no, I don't either, for sure.
Yeah. Um, Vegas won. I think. Yeah, we both picked Vegas for that one.
Yeah, but by a lot more. That was closer than I thought it would be.
Yeah. So clearly, Utah's in the right direction, and the Oilers got yeah. Anaheim. I'm like, yeah, we were right on Anaheim.
Yeah, we were thinking they would give them trouble, and that was correct. And we kept an obvious. We got the Avalanche crushing the Kings.
Yeah. So, okay, and yeah, the Avalanche, that was a slaughter.
Yeah.
So right now, I'm kind of leaning towards the championship being Carolina and Colorado. I mean, my
I
opinion on the Avalanche has not changed. I think they are winning the West.
No, I totally agree with you. Carolina, they already whooped the Flyers in game one pretty handily. I'd be surprised the Flyers win a single game against them, even though they're my team. They look like the strongest, most well rounded team in the East. Their problem the last few years has been the Panthers. The only team that I think could give them a challenge would be the Bolts, but the Bolts will have their hands full even with Buffalo.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you see more Bolts than I do. They haven't done a lot to encourage me in their series with Montreal.
As well. Um,
You're cutting out of me, okay? Tyler, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Tyler? I think you're frozen or I'm frozen. I can't tell which one. Trying to message you over here. Hold on. Tyler, you there? All right. I'm going to leave if you can hear me.
God. All right. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Internet really kind of crapped out there for a second. But Matt, you were talking about, I believe you were talking about Buffalo and either Montreal or Tampa. It doesn't matter. I think Buffalo beats either one.
I do too, and Buffalo's surprising, but Carolina looks like they got to put together this year. They may have been so far playing inferior opponents, and I'm saying that as a Flyers fan because they handled game one, but they steamrolled Ottawa. The Flyers couldn't do anything with them. I think they're going to have a pretty easy path to get to the finals, whereas the whoever comes out of the Buffalo Bolts Montreal series is, I think, going to be a little bit more worse for the wear. What do you think?
Yeah, that's my thought process too. I mean, when it comes to Carolina, like last night, you got like the Philadelphia Flyers got dog walked by Carolina.
Yeah, they really did.
So I don't know. Like I think Philly might put up a fight, but maybe that's just saying like one game.
Yeah, I'll be happy. Listen, nobody thought they'd make it to the playoffs. Beating the Penguins, which was a fun series because their rival was good. They're a young team. I think Carolina is what they're aspiring to be, so it'll be a good lesson for them. But yeah, if they can win one game, I'd be surprised. I really think at this point Carolina's coming out of the East, and I think they do so relatively easily.
Yeah, but then again, like we've been here before with Carolina, where they get through the matches and they just run out of steam by the end. Like how many times how many times have we seen this?
I want to say 3. Usually the Florida Panthers have been their Achilles heel, but the Panthers aren't here anymore. I don't know that any team in the East is going to present the challenge for them currently that the Florida Panthers do. What do you think?
I think it might be like the closest I would say would be Buffalo at this point.
Yeah. You just have to wonder if like Buffalo, if the experience factor is going to be a problem for them is the deeper that they go.
That's my thought process too, is that there's experience levels, but as I said before, Carolina has an aging core, and they did take some hits during the Ottawa game.
True. I don't think they're a lock to come out, but I'd say they're the strongest to come out, right? Like of the East.
Yeah.
But some fun series in the first round. The Bolts and Montreal has been I'm sure not for you, but it's been a fun series for anybody who's not a fan of one of those two teams, right?
Yeah. Can I just say, Tampa, what is going on, man? Like, what is a defense? Like,
what?
And all. Yeah. What is a defense? And also, does anyone know how to just keep a lead?
No, not in that series. No.
I don't get it. Like, we don't deserve to be here after how sloppy game 5 and 6 were.
Yeah, for sure. They were super sloppy. The fact that series is still going while round 2 is started for some of the other teams is insane to me too, by the way.
Yeah. I like, even if we magically beat Montreal, I have no expectation for Buffalo.
Yeah, I think Buffalo is going to win that series based on the way the other two teams have looked. And like we said, I really think that Carolina handles the Flyers a gentleman's sweep at best in 5. But fun series in the first round so far in the East. Same for the West, except for I was a little disappointed that the Dallas Wild one petered out, like you said. I thought that would be like a tighter 7-game series, and Dallas just seemed to hit a wall, kind of.
That was my thing too. Dallas just lost their. It felt like they just after that. What was it? That overtime game in game 5. They just ran out of steam. Like that was the backbreaker for them.
Yeah, I for sure that seemed to be the case. I was a little surprised to see that players like Rantanen and Heiskanen like get shut down the way that they were, since we've seen them be such prolific playoff performers in the past.
Absolutely. Now, I do think Minnesota will probably give the Avalanche, after how hard they just swarmed Dallas offensively. I do see that they could actually take the game to to 6, maybe 7 rounds. I think they will be more of a challenge for the Avalanche, but if in that matchup, I'm still going Colorado.
Yeah, I agree. I'm still going Colorado. The Wild could give them some fits. As we said before, Quinn Hughes is probably the best defenseman in hockey, so he can really help control the game, but I still think Colorado is deeper overall. And as we said before, Colorado has like the greatest home ice advantage in any sport because the air is so thin up there. If you're not used to it, you got to keep your shift shorter when you're playing out there, right?
Yeah, but I will say that I think if anyone like terrain-wise can handle it, it is like the Midwest.
True, that is true. So I do think if anybody, that should be the best. I think it'll be a fun matchup, but I'm still thinking Colorado wins that.
Me too. Now, Vegas and Anaheim's a fascinating one.
Yeah, to me, it's kind of like a mirror of the other side with Carolina and the Flyers, where like you've got a young team who got past some aging superstars on the other side, but they're going up against a team that's very playoff tested in Vegas, with like the Ducks being ironically like the Flyers, especially considering how much they've traded back and forth. But the Knights are a team that have had some solid playoff runs lately. They did win a cup a few years ago, but again, they're similar to Carolina though, where their core is getting older, right?
Yeah. That's my thing too, where it's like the core's aging, and also they did take some bad hits in the Utah game. I also think that they did get, I feel like they let the Utah game go long, the Utah Vegas game series go longer than they needed it to be, and I think it wore them out. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I think so. As we said before, the NHL playoffs are a war of attrition. So you want to end things as quickly as you can, which Vegas did not with Utah. However, I feel like it's a better matchup for Vegas because I feel like Utah's defensive scheme gave Vegas some trouble, where I don't think the Ducks have as strong a defensive scheme. I think they have more dynamic younger players on offense, but I feel like that Vegas's overall game will likely negate that, but I could see this going 6. What do you think?
I think this might actually be a closer series. I think this could be taken to 7. Anaheim really stepped up defensive wise towards the end of the series, and if you can box out Draisaitl and McDavid on the same team.
True, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So you got Anaheim as your Cinderella team this year?
I am going to say Anaheim beats Vegas in 6.
All right, good call. It's sure, because Ottawa was surely not the Cinderella team we thought they might be.
Yeah, right? I regret that.
Yeah, me too.
What happened to Ottawa? We had a lot of faith in you.
Highly misplaced, obviously.
Yeah. Now, even if Ottawa does beat Vegas, I don't have a lot of faith in them in this hypothetical taking on Colorado.
You mean Anaheim, right? Yeah, I don't either. I think I see Colorado. Colorado, I still think wins the cup. I think, we said that from the start. I think that they win the cup. I don't think anybody matches up super well with them. The Wild might be the toughest matchup that they have, right? Even I don't think Carolina matches up super well against them.
Yeah, I mean, really, on the Eastern front, it is Buffalo or Carolina that are the 2 logical choices right now to take the East. But either one, I don't see them. I don't really see anyone holding their own again, unless some weird shenanigans happen. There's no one in these brackets that can take on Colorado.
Right. Shenanigans, injuries, of course. That could always happen. Or if like a Nathan McKinnon goes down or something like that, it changes the dynamic. But yeah, Colorado looks like the team. Anything short of a cup this year would be a disappointment for them, right?
Yeah.
But I'm good.
I was going to say, because I feel like they need to do this, because did you see the cap limit they're going to be on next year.
Yeah, they're in trouble.
So this is like this Colorado team is do or die.
Yes, yeah. Well, they know they kind of have to. And the other neat thing about the NHL is it kind of comes in waves where you see teams building up. And one thing that we've mentioned a lot in these playoffs is younger teams that are getting into the playoffs for the first time. I mean, nobody thought Buffalo was going to make it as a top seed. That's for damn sure. And they look pretty darn good, right? The Ottawa we thought would do better. The Flyers are a younger team. The Anaheim is a younger team on their way up. The Mammoth, the same. The Wild to an extent. The Kings have kind of had their core for a while, but in the NHL you have like a window, and Colorado's one has maybe a year left, but even with that salary cap, I'm not sure. So I think this has got to be their year. However, they do look most poised to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
what's your pick for the most fun series in this next round?
The most fun series, I am going to say, just to see how they stack up, Vegas and Anaheim.
I agree with you. I think that'll be the most fun one. I think the most competitive one will be Colorado and Minnesota, though. What do you think?
That's my pick too, is Colorado and Minnesota. Like I said, everyone else, like, I'm sorry about Philly, but they're gonna after last night, I'm like, I don't know how they stack up to that.
No, I don't know either. Plus, it seems like the Sixers have taken all the magic for us after knocking off the Celtics amazingly, and then
yeah,
the NBA to switch real quick, dude. We could see in the East the top two teams go out in the first round.
Yeah. How did you manage that?
It's part of it is Boston imploding. They did lose Jason Tatum for Game 7, but he was there beforehand. And then Joel Embiid came back, who's missed a decade's worth of playoffs from an appendectomy that was supposed to keep him out and look like Superman. It's really unbelievable. And almost as shocking as now the Orlando Magic taking number 1 seed Detroit to Game 7 today.
Yeah, this NBA has just been chaos.
Which is usually you don't see. We've said it before. It's one reason we like the NHL because it doesn't always go to chalk where the NBA typically does. But we could do a whole separate thing on the NBA. We could see, Tyler, it's not out of the realm of possibility, the Sixers and the Magic who played each other in the playing game, playing in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. Orlando's not my team, but San Antonio also has been absolutely annihilating everything they see.
They are. Them and OKC should be a heck of a matchup. We'll see where it goes. But the East in particular is clearly wide open.
Yeah. It does. It makes me wonder though. Like, would it be crazy if somehow the Flyers beat Carolina, and maybe Philly gets a whole year of sports?
That's the hope around here, but I'll tell you, everybody is pretty realistic about how they match up for Carolina, and it showed last night. Like any thought that we might have that we might be able to compete, seemed like it was crushed. However, different sport. The Celtics crushed the Sixers in Game 1, and look how that turned out. So, but I don't think the Carolina Hurricanes will implode the way the Celtics seem to have.
Yeah. Yeah. But hey, you never know.
It's beauty about sports. But anyway, a fun first round. Some pretty good matchups. I'm going to say overall the West is the more intriguing teams to watch, though, for the NHL.
Yeah, the Western side. I think I would actually. I don't know if I'd be surprised if Minnesota beats the Avalanche. I mean, they're the only one really left in the West to be any threat to them.
I think they're the only one in the entire NHL left to be any threat to them. Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll see. I would not hate, the obvious one I said was Colorado versus Carolina right now. But here's my wild card one, the fun one. I would like to see Buffalo and Minnesota.
That would be pretty cool. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Buffalo is the one team where they're still, despite the fact that they're the number 1 seed in the East, kind of a wild card, because they really came out of nowhere this year. They have sucked forever, right?
Yeah.
Since like they lost Dominik Hasek, they've sucked. So for them to finally get it put together is interesting. But it's hard to bet on a team who hasn't been in the NHL playoffs before to hold it together. However, Boston's aging and they're not what they used to be. They handled Boston pretty well. Boston's a very well playoff tested team with that group, right?
Yeah, and anytime Buffalo gets to dunk on a Buffalo team gets to dunk on Boston, everyone in New York is happy.
Everybody, yeah, for sure. But I do think Buffalo makes it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I really do. I'm sorry for the Bolts.
Yeah, don't worry. I don't like after how sloppy and how we've somehow managed to survive. Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Montreal?
Yeah, sorry, God, this migraine. I don't know. I don't have any excuse for how sloppy the Tampa has played this whole series.
So I will say, on the unlikely chance that we get a Flyers Bolts Eastern Conference Finals, we're going to do a review for every game. Is that the idea?
I don't have the energy for that.
Don't worry, I don't think we have to hold our breath on that one.
Oh yeah. What about you? What's your fun matchup? Your dream, like out of these left, and it's not Colorado. What's your alternate like two teams facing off in the championship?
Let's see. You know what? I a little kind of hate to say it. I'd like to see the Ducks make it as a Cinderella team.
Okay.
GTA can suck an egg as far as I'm concerned, but the rest of the team I like. So like the Ducks and Buffalo would be pretty fun.
Yeah, I would be totally down for that.
The Ducks would have to get. The Ducks have a path. I don't think Vegas is unbeatable for them. I really don't. I think I would favor Vegas, but the Ducks can get past that. It'd be that next round matchup that I really think is tough for them, whether it be Colorado, most likely, or even Minnesota. I think is a tough matchup for the Ducks, though.
Yeah, but hey, either way, this is a win for Anaheim. Like getting this far as it is.
For sure. Again, like young teams on the way up. They're definitely one of them.
Yeah. So
beauty of the NHL, and you have to overcome those teams. That's how it goes. Like you get there and you have to overcome a team to move on. So we shall certainly see, and hopefully see some new rivalries build up too, which would be fun.
Yeah.
All right, that's about all I think I have for this one. Anything else you wanted to add?
No, I'm good. I think I've said everything I have to say.
All right. Did you want to do an NBA specific talk later, like in about a week or so, maybe?
Well, I mean, I think we've missed the boat on talking about everything with NBA right now. Like we're halfway through the end of the series.
Sounds good.
I would like to do an overview.
We can do an overview when we get to the finals. Want to do that?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right, man. Sounds good.
Yeah, but other than that, hope you guys, to all the sports fans watching, let us know in the comments below what you guys thought of this. Maybe our picks will be right on the money this time.
And it can't be much worse than last time.
Right? All right. Well, other than that, hope you all enjoyed this, and we're out.